Teaching has taught me to keep learning, growing, and challenging, not just my students, but myself. The moment I saw my true potential as a teacher was the moment I became a student again.
Earn your extraordinary degree in education. Apply at oakland.edu/grad.
Detroit retirees will get more than first thought under Kevyn Orr's new bankruptcy plan, but retirees and community leaders say the cuts are still too deep. So today they released a plan of their own. Fox2's Randy Wimbley is live with details on that. Randy?
Yeah, brutal, unreasonable, and unfair. That's how some Detroiters are summing up and describing Kevyn Orr's plan of adjustment. They say it does not reflect the needs and wants of Detroiters, but this, however, an alternative plan for a sustainable Detroit, they say, does.
This plan has crossed a plane of dramatic change and sacrifice. Rather, it treads on the rim of inhumane and cruel.
And that was putting it mildly. Detroit cops, firefighters, civil rights leaders, and retirees blasted Kevyn Orr's plan of adjustment, calling it too tough on pensioners and too soft on other creditors.
It appears that the retirees are being scapegoated. The retirees were not responsible for the 2008 crash of the stock market.
The group Detroiters Resisting Emergency Management put forth its own plan calling for pensioners to be held harmless, for interest rates from the swaps deal to be terminated, and most importantly,
2.3 million people said no to emergency management.
For Orr's ouster.
Even Judge Rhodes acknowledged the importance of allowing this case to proceed by lifting the bankruptcy stay on this important constitutional legal challenge.
Emergency manager spokesperson Bill Nowling says the cuts in the plan of adjustment are necessary if Detroit will move forward, and that most creditors are taking bigger hits than retirees.
There's a wide disparity, and I think that shows the links that the emergency manager and his team went to make sure that we prioritize the cuts and the adjustments that are necessary.
The plan of adjustment would invest millions in public safety and blight removal, but many here are not buying it.
Those numbers are based on a gamble, and we don't know if the legislature is going to pass the appropriations to make sure that the city of Detroit gets that.
That is predicated on reaching a negotiated settlement between all the parties, the pensioners, the creditors, coming together and reaching a negotiated settlement. That's where that money helps out. If we get into litigating this in bankruptcy, that money will probably go away.
It's a bit heavy-handed. Jump on it now or it's going to get worse.
Well, it's already getting worse. So we've structured it in a way that we think is generous and fair to all parties.
But many say unless retirees, pensioners come out of this unscathed and their medical benefits that were cut are restored, no plan will be generous or fair. Now, Kevyn Orr's plan has not received the green light yet, and judging by how far apart pensioners and his office are, the plan of adjustment will likely see several changes. Monica?
Well, Randy, this so-called alternative plan focuses an awful lot on pensioners getting or out and bigger cuts for the banks. What does it offer?
Yeah, it does offer us some other changes. They want to see a restoration of the state revenue sharing. Detroit has missed out on millions of dollars because of that. And they also want an automatic payroll deduction for people who work or live in cities that have a local income tax like Detroit and 22 other cities across the state. So those are a few other plans that they're putting forward that would actually generate some revenue for the city of Detroit.
All right, Randy, thank you. Meanwhile, Judge Stephen Rhodes is setting a very aggressive timetable for the city. He set a June 16th trial on Detroit's plan to emerge from bankruptcy, and he's giving creditors until March 28th to file objection to the adjustment plan presented by Kevyn Orr last week.